New logo, new announcement. What did I click on? What's going on? Hey, it's Woolie here, and it's my pleasure to let you know about a brand new monthly podcast starting called Versus Wolves, named as such because it will be with myself, Woolieversus, and John, Super Eyepatch Wolf. The goal is simple. We are at each other's throats. We have the ability to force each other to experience different mediums or whatever it is we recommend. And we force each other, recommend or die. And the next month, after going through whatever it is we've pushed, we get to have a little get together and talk about how that experience went. So in some sense or another, it's the world's most powerful book club. And I think it'll be a whole lot of fun if you can play along at home too, as we'll be announcing what we're going to be forcing on each other a month in advance of when we come back to it. So it'll be great. I already have a great list of shit I can't wait to throw at him. And I know he's crafting up some devious shit to throw my way as well. So good times ahead. This is a clip from the first episode. It's going to be a little bit different in format since we don't get right into the recommendations I just described. This is actually just going to be us talking about our top 10s of the year, things that we enjoyed, the best experiences we had in 2023 overall, all encompassing. And it's just a bit of a different format for the intro to how this is going to go down. But what we have here is it's a preview of the full episode. To check out the full episode, you can check out the brand new channel, Woolieversus. That's not right. Woolie, that's not right either. Wow. One more time. Versus Wolves podcast on YouTube. It'll also be going up to, Spotify and iTunes, all the various normal podcast places as well in time, because that's an automated process. But for now, you can come catch these videos on the new channel, Versus Wolves podcast. That's correct. And that's where future episodes are going to be posted from now on. This first one is just to make an announcement to let you guys know what's happening and to kind of promote the show. This is a segment of it. It's not the full episode. Go check out the channel for that. And I think everything else you'd want to know about is going to be in the description. So check below for that and enjoy. I'm really hyped to see this wild shit go down.
Okay. Woolie, people are probably wondering what's happening here, and we're not going to give it all away up front, but we got a job to do. Title of this podcast. Yeah, absolutely. Whoa. I mean, Woolie, you know what that disgusting little sub-community does. Do not encourage that.
Don't feed. Oh, God, don't feed.
Don't feed. And that's the last we'll say about that. Anyway, look, the title of this podcast is The Best Collection, okay? We are bringing you a curated list of 20 items from at least your third or fourth favorite social media influencers.
Z tier, shit tier, e-celebs have opinions
absolutely. Too. The informally known as the, are they still going? Rank.
Whatever happened to those guys? That's good for them.
Someone really, I was on a podcast recently and someone really unironically said to me, "Oh, no way. I used to watch your videos like 5 years ago."
Yeah, no, totally. And absolutely. I've absolutely caught stray bullets left and right of just like, "Oh fuck, yo, he's still around. That's so sick." I'm just like, hi, what's up?
Yeah, it's a very specific pain.
God.
Like on one hand, they're happy you're there, but on the other, in their mind, you stopped existing 5 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, the cover of like when it was like Spider-Man No More, where just like the mask is in the trash, and he's like walking. Like, I'm just like, it's the feeling is that like, my dreads just were ripped off and tossed in the trash. and I walked away into the internet distance, never to be seen again.
So I would say, Woolie, what it's very like is like that comic, that Spider-Man comic you just described. It's like Spider-Man himself finding that in the trash and being like, wait, what?
But I'm still here. Yeah, that's a very specific feeling, you know?
Yeah, it sure is. But look, Woolie, we've done a fair few things in the past, and most notably and recently, the 4-part psychological horror series / anime review, Gone in 60 Seconds.
Ah.
And
we're mentioning it, are we?
We are mentioning it.
Okay, canonically, we are acknowledging its existence.
We are acknowledging it. And
here we go.
We've kind of talked about it in various pieces, and I feel like maybe we're done with that series.
I think we've hit the highest highs of what could be accomplished with the concept, and then we dragged it to the lowest lows.
Yeah.
And then whatever lied further beyond to get to a conclusion that felt right.
Yeah, and I think, like, I'm not saying never, like maybe an idea hits us. I think we were cool leaving it there.
But what does he think of the Chimera Ant? How will we know?
And look, I just want to say, for the people who might be upset about that, who are listening to this, if it sounds like we are laughing at you, we absolutely are.
I mean,
look. Anything could happen, okay? But I guess the conclusion of Gone in 60 Seconds left a certain void.
So much fun.
It was so much fun. I genuinely, like, that is the most fun I have ever had making anything. And I'm incredibly proud of what... Yeah, it was great. Anyway, look, the point is, I think we found ourselves, Woolie, in a little... what would you call it?
Impasse, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. And leaving a little collaboration void. Because it's like, oh, shit, what do we do? And... you know, our first answer was, what if we get together at the end of the year and just start listing all the fucking cool shit that we played and watched and read or walked into this year? That is the best collection. And that is what you, dear viewer / listener, are about to experience. I
like that. Well put. Yeah. It is a collection of the best experiences of this year. And I think as well, like, just the last bit on Gone in 60 is just like as you could see, I think just so that they know, like, we would film a season of that and then just put it to bed until inspiration struck. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And it did. Each time we did one of those seasons, it was like inspiration struck. What if we came back and did this?
It was one of us coming up to the other and being like, I have a fucking idea. And then the other one taking that idea and making it at least twice as good. And that to me is the only way that season... I'm sure people are listening to this having no idea what we're talking about. Can find it all on Woolieversus. We'll link to it in the description. It might be my favorite thing I've ever done.
That is awesome. That's super cool. I'm really happy to hear that. I mean, but just to say that, like, you know, so even with this, like, saying like, oh yeah, well, that's probably where it's a nice finale to it because it ends on a fucking insane note. Like, inspiration can still strike, and again, like you said, never say never, but like, it would have to be something really nuts and good and work for that to you know, because we've done a lot. We've done it. Yeah.
So yeah, it's like we have taken that concept and not less so beaten it to death and more so atomic pile drivered it into the center of the planet.
Like Megaton Punch. We cracked Popstar in half, you know, just in the fucking yeah, absolutely.
But look,
agreed.
Where the old must die, new shall rise, and that is the best collection 2023.
From the ashes.
Now,
okay.
Woolie, listen, I don't think either of anyone is ever going to accuse either of us for being concise in our recommendations. So not only do we have 10 items to pick each, we also got to get through some honorable mentions.
Yeah.
No, there's stuff that I just couldn't not talk about in a podcast of the coolest shit that happened this year.
Agreed.
And before we start, how much did you agonize over these choices?
It was brutal. And I think the key thing is just like, again, trying to, because you're what are the experiences that you've had, and like how do you? I hate top 10 lists. People know this about me. I've always been just like, oh god damn it, right? You know, stack your apples and your oranges. You must organize them. You know, it's so yeah, it is definitely agonizing.
Is Animal Crossing better than Forza Motorsport 3?
I think, like, I've come up with something that I can live with at this day in this particular hour, and as just get it out and then fuck it and move on. It'll probably upset me tomorrow, and it'll upset me yesterday, but for today, it'll have to do.
I don't do like actually, I have an ongoing series where I make lists, so never mind. But the only way I think you can create a list and live with yourself is to acknowledge to yourself it doesn't matter. And the only way to watch those lists is to also acknowledge to yourself that they don't matter.
But everyone making them and watching them secretly really thinks they matter, though.
Yep.
Because there's always a moment when you're like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You put it at number 8. You know? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, because we are creatures. Human beings have to rank and categorize and folder things in life. You know?
Okay. You know what? Let me present this to the audience. What I think would be fucking cool is, rather than people getting, I'm sure, very upset if they maybe hear one of their items not included, drop your own list in the comments. Genuinely, let's see what fucking happens. I think it would be so cool to scroll down and see the comments of this thing and see like a bunch of people's actual lists, and it's like, oh man, this thing is like popping up a lot. Maybe I should check this out. Woolie, you look scared. You look scared, Woolie.
Nice deflect, bro.
Hey, listen, I've been doing this YouTube thing a little while now, okay?
Skillful deflection. That was masterfully crafted. By the way, I'm calling out all bits. Let's go. All right. Okay. Honorable mentions.
Would you like to begin, Woolie, or will I? Will we take turns? Yeah, let's take turns with honorable mentions.
That seems like the reasonable way to go. Okay, honorable. I'm beginning the honorable mention list with very quickly, a meme. Actually, I would like to nominate a meme. Yes.
Okay. So, and ladies and gentlemen, just to be clear, anything is on the table here.
Anything is on the table.
It can be a restaurant. It can be it can be my Dragon Ball Z snood hoodie.
There you go.
It's not, but like, you see, this thing is so fucking cozy. It is. You just put it on, and
oh my god,
you're warm.
You're rocking the dragon, bro.
You know, I'm gonna take it off.
That's crazy.
Here. But you get the idea.
That's wild. Okay, well, it could be. There you go. That, you know what? That might have been one of the best experiences of the year.
Now it's not, but it could have been.
But it could have been. It could have been.
Yeah. Okay.
So right off the bat, I'm gonna give a honorable mention shout out to the list of detectives that can solve the Death Note tier list. Have you seen this meme?
Interesting. No, I have not.
It is so good. It is so good. And if I may, I will just drop this. I will let you take a look at it. But this was made by Aki Works on Twitter, and it is a grid of detectives, and it's listed by 2 metrics. 1, can intuit the mechanics of the Death Note, cannot intuit the mechanics of the Death Note, and then on the y-axis, could solve the Kira case, could not solve the Kira case.
Interesting.
And it's so cool because it's a list of all these different detectives, and the top leftmost prominent slot, Columbo, can absolutely solve the case and catch Kira. But then as you go down, you see all kinds of others, like Sam and Max can absolutely figure it out and solve it. Harry Dubois from Disco Elysium, the Diamond is Unbreakable crew, Charlie Day, they can solve it.
Okay,
right?
okay, but hang on. Kim Kutsuragi being in the could not solve. Am I reading this right?
Could not solve. Too grounded in reality.
Okay. I think the problem is that
at being a detective in real life.
Kim would refuse to believe that this even exists.
Exactly. And Harry is connected to the ethereal.
Yeah. No.
Right.
I see.
If True Detective were on the list, Matthew McConaughey would be in that same slot of like he can connect to it, but Woody could not. Right.
Yeah.
And so you just get this great list, and then you start getting into the stuff like Naoto and Adachi and Courage the Cowardly Dog. They could not solve the Kira case, but they could intuit how the Death Note worked.
I see. Okay, I get it.
Right?
Okay, Woolie, we immediately must move on because we are only on honorable mentions.
God damn it. Sorry, go. It's great. It's a great meme.
My first honorable mention this year is Pie in Dublin. That's P-I. It's a pizza restaurant, and I have described it before as the Silent Hill 2 of pizzas.
What the fuck does that mean?
I refuse to elaborate. Next honorable mention.
All right, I'm going to give a shout out to Shin Kamen Rider, or Shin Masked Rider, Hideaki Anno, paying homage to the original Kamen Rider, just like he did the Shin Godzilla movies. And if you ever wanted to see ultra-violent rider kicks that explode into bloody gore while also pondering the nature of the human soul and the true meaning of henshin, check out Shin Kamen Rider, aka Shin Masked Rider.
Sold. Just questionless, absolute. Where do I sign? That sounds awesome.
Yep.
Okay. You know what? I feel like there was a kind of running theme of animated movies going unbelievably harder than they should this year. Puss in Boots.
Oh, I forgot about Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots. Do you want to see a genuinely great DreamWorks film that is made wholesale by weeaboos and people who have New Game Plus Bloodborne? Because here it is. This movie, The Last Wish, fucking rules. It's a beautiful film. It has maybe the best villain of the year in maybe anything. I don't know. It barely misses out on my list. But seriously, people, if you have not seen this, awesome movie.
You introduced me to that playing that one scene of the introduction of the villain. Holy fuck, what a good movie. Yes.
Awesome movie.
Agreed. Honorable mention to One Piece on Netflix. The live action One Piece.
What the fuck? It's good?
Yeah, it's all right. I had a good time.
That was my reaction to it. Yeah. Not a question. So I'm only 5 episodes in, having a great time. That little fucker who plays Luffy makes me laugh every time.
He's right. He's got that again. Well, so the way I described this, like, he's just got that like complete, like, you cannot break his joy no matter what you do. His enthusiasm, like, it doesn't matter what the fuck anyone says. And also shout outs to, because again, I'm not up to speed on the original series on the manga or anything, so this is my first experience really, and heavy on the fisheye lens, but overall the brightness, the colors, everyone's very lovable, and I love that this stew is about racism. There's a little bit like, okay, sick. Where are we going?
One Piece is like One Piece has some shit to say.
I didn't know. One Piece had some shit to say.
There's a lot to get into there, but yeah, absolutely.
Zoro's a goddamn himbo.
Oh my god, don't get me started. Gunbarella. You heard of this?
No.
Gunbarella is I think this is like, I talk about this in a future video, and this is the exact line I use because it's too perfect. Gunbrella is Celeste with guns, and the controls are tight enough that it works.
Fuck, that sounds excellent.
We're done. I have nothing more to say.
All right. Black Mirror, the latest season, the episode Lock Henry.
Oh yeah, I've seen stuff about this.
It's an interesting. It's a Black Mirror style, a tragic story. Technology is involved in the classic Black Mirror sense, but the episode has a purpose, and it is phenomenal in that purpose. And it's one that it reveals itself eventually to you, but it is a critique of something that is a real world modern trend that needed to be addressed, and no one was addressing it. And this episode, Lock Henry, does so. So okay. I have to throw that up there. Cool.
So this isn't exclusively a 2023 thing, but I think it's 2023 when it really started to come into its own. Chainsaw Man Part 2, fucking exceptional.
Okay. Yes, I read the first couple chapters of it, but I have not caught up.
Okay. Yep, love it. Perfect.
Going
totally
strong.
New direction. Great stuff. No notes.
Excellent. Very cool. I'm excited. Huge shout outs to The Last of Us episode 3.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. That's such a great episode.
Long time, right? So just like Billstown is a part of the game that I really, really liked how like different it was. Like one guy that's a prepper just sets up this whole shop and what do we do? And I had expectations for what that was going to be like. And when they get to it in the show, it's completely different and it's fucking phenomenal.
Oh,
and it's
brilliant.
just... It's like it's still a depressing story, but it's infinitely more just bittersweet and like there's a little bit of hope and in the middle of the chaos. Unbelievable.
I would say the best episode of a very good show.
And for changing the source material around as well, you know. I have to give that its credit. So episode 3 of Last of Us.
Castlevania Nocturne.
Ooh.
Very good, beautiful show. Beautiful. A lot of sexy people either being or killing vampires.
Okay. Haven't watched yet, but from the first seasons I loved, you know. Right on. Killers of the Flower Moon. Martin Scorsese.
Oh.
The latest of his movies. Basically, a storied director of a lifetime that does not have a lot of time left. And as he's getting up there in years, he's like, the stories that I have to tell matter more than ever. And I have to choose very carefully because I'm getting old. I can't direct movies forever. So when he picks it, it better be fucking worth it. And this one is absolutely worth it. It's unbelievable.
Wow. Okay. That's solid.
Yes.
Do you want to give us like a one-line plot summary?
Yes. In the 1920s, a Native American tribe became the richest people in America, and America had something to say about that.
Oh, okay, cool, awesome.
It's
Sounds
fucking
good.
crazy.
Zombie 100 Bucket List of the Dead. This is an anime. This is an anime, a zombie anime. And I was going into it being like, there's been so many zombie animes. There's been so many zombie media. I really don't think I'm going to stick with this past the first episode. So, you know, like post-apocalypse misery? That is not in this show. This is a joyous show about, hey, your shitty office life has been obliterated by a zombie apocalypse. You now get to live life however you want. And I think there is better anime out this year. I think Heavenly Delusion is better. I think Pluto is better. But 2023, little grim in some ways. And this was the exact thing I needed.
Okay. Wow. What was that name again?
Zombie 100 Bucket List of the Dead. The name comes from the fact that he writes 100 things he wants to do before he becomes a zombie.
Interesting. Okay.
And it's cool because like other people write their lists and you can see their personality. So like a girl, he kind of like teams up with. Her list is 100 ways to stay alive in the apocalypse, and then a later villain is like 100 atrocities I can commit in the apocalypse.
I see.
It's fun. It's real dumb. It's real fun.
Nice. I'm out of honorable mentions. I just have my big boys left. So
okay, cool. I got
run through them
one. I got one more. The band Wisp. This is a very mysterious band that just appeared on Spotify. They have 3 tracks, and it is all the most fucking I'm a sad goth thing, shoegaze, kind of just like, man. It's kind of like it's like a mellower Deftones sung by a lady, and it fucking rules.
Okay. I like that. Just a band out of nowhere.
Just a band out of nowhere.
3 tracks.
Okay. So, okay, people are probably already out of breath. They're probably, man, those were some strong recommendations. We haven't even dropped the weights yet. Okay? Now that's the beat. That's the baby shit out of the way. Okay? We don't want to talk about it anymore.
Master, allow me to go all out just this once. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So
we are now entering the top 10s.
We're in it. Mm-hmm. We're officially in it?
We're officially in it. There ain't no turning back.
There's no... Are you sure? Okay, like, last chance.
No, actually, no, I don't think I can do this. No, we can do it. We can do it.
Okay, all right, so I'll start this out. Coming in at number 10 on the best collection list, Woolie side, I'm going to nominate a beverage. It's called Optifast. Specifically, Optifast 900 is fucking phenomenal, and here's why. This is the drink that helped me lose 80 pounds this year. And it has been a life-changing thing that has allowed me to get my health in shape and figure out how to approach the future significantly less diabetic, significantly more capable of not losing any toes or limbs, you know, and in general, just, I don't know, getting kind of feeling myself a little bit when I can put on some clothing that fits a little nicer. You know,
Woolie, what I would contend is you have always been an excellence-looking person.
Well,
but,
come on now,
Woolie,
Mr. Square Jaw.
Come on now. Let's not do this. Let's not do this.
Mr. Face Reveal, everyone goes, oh my god, he's hot.
Okay, but all I mean to say is that it was a fucking trip, like, seeing you in February for my wedding, and then seeing you maybe 2 months later on camera, and you having dropped like 35 pounds or something insane.
It was psychotic. It's
wild. And it's just like, what the fuck is happening? And it's been just awesome seeing you fucking basically. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Is there an anime where someone powers up and immediately gets really shredded? But it's been.
I mean, how about Fat Boo into Boo's second form? Right
there you go. There you go.
Imagine Boo.
There's another one called. Oh, god damn it. I'll think of it later, but there's one where basically there's this like big chunky judo guy in it, and then he's not in the next episode, and people are like, where is he? And then and they're like, oh, he's training in the mountains, and then he comes back the episode after, and he's super buff.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not quite done turning into a grappler backy character. But we'll get there, right? One step at a time. But at the very least, I'll say, like, so when when I saw you at Too Many Games, you gave me a shirt, and it was like a large, and you weren't really thinking about it at all. It was just like a normal large size shirt, and I put it on, and it actually fit. And like, you don't know, but it's like, that's a huge deal.
I remember that because like we were in our hotel room, and I gave you the shirt. And you put it on and you looked in the mirror and like, you look great. And then you just kept looking in the mirror and being like, I'm a large. And it was genuinely one of the most wholesome things I have ever seen.
Well, cheers, man. But like, it was really like, I have not been capable of doing that for the majority of my adult life, the entirety of my adult life, really. Like,
Yeah.
I was a teenager when I could, you know what I mean? So when I could wear, yeah. So, that I attribute to OptiFast, and OptiFast is basically, it's a meal replacement shake, and it's like the type that, gives you your protein, your carbs, your fat, yeah, it gives you 225 calories per, serving. And it's one of those ones that like, it's set up that with, with a medical professional like overseeing it, you can have it literally replace your entire diet. Or you can have it replace a meal or two or so. But the fact that it just like, it tastes good, it's filling, and it like really helped like get, after a while of using it, cravings for food went away. And I kind of got to a place where I was like, oh, I'm eating, or I have to get more energy in my system. And if I don't, I'm going to feel more tired than hungry, So
Yeah.
it was good. So
one question I'm kind of curious about, Woolie. So over the course of the pandemic, like I definitely put on a little chunk. And it was very gradual until I one day recorded myself and was like, okay, this is not what I used to look like. Like I had gotten middle-aged, and so I immediately started like researching calories and all that shit, and I dropped about, I'd say, 35 pounds over the course of maybe 7 or 8 months. And even I felt like the difference in the way people react towards you changes so dramatically. Like I had people in people in the shops around me who I'd never spoken to being like, lose some weight,
Huh.
Have you experienced anything like that?
I mean, I think mainly from like family and people that have known me for my whole life. Like, I think out and about in the world a little less so, but I'm also like not. I'm pretty much in my house all day, whatever. But
Yeah, I get you.
But yeah, but I think no, for a lot of my family and friends, it's been like, yeah, definitely a like, holy shit, dude, whoa, like that little that getting taken aback, and it's like, yeah, I'm. And at the same time too, I mean, I don't like, there's like, oh, don't disappear on us now. And, I definitely don't like want to like go too far the other way and stuff. I like being a little thick with two C's.
Yeah. Well, like, okay, this is the part of this discussion. I feel like, I genuinely think people can look fucking awesome, at any body type. Like, and I think if someone is like big and comfortable, awesome, fucking great. There's no like inherent thing, but I think like it's cool. I think what I encourage everyone is just like, be good with the now, but if there's something you want to get to, that's cool too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. My goals are like Pacific Islander body,
Hell yeah, dude.
Just like wide, strong, thick, flat. I love that. And I'm like, that's what I like. That's what I want to get to. Solid.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So yeah, OptiFast coming in number 10.
At number 10.
At number 10, a beverage.
Okay. So Woolie, you ever heard of a little song? This is number 10. John Side. What the best collection? John Side.
John Side.
You ever heard of a little song called Aisha X Righteous?
No.
Okay, so this is a little song. And like all my favorite songs, it's basically someone takes two very good songs and puts them together. I'm gonna drop it in the Discord here. Someone takes two very good songs and combines them into a fucking incredible song.
Okay.
And this song became. Oops, let me turn that off. This song became my weightlifting song. This song became my running song. This kind became my everything's gonna be all right song.
Okay.
And
okay.
I think I've maybe listened to it about 400 times this year.
Okay. It's a cross-up. It's a mashup between.
I don't. It's
Aisha
like
and
yeah.
Righteous.
We will leave a link in the description for anything we can leave a link in the description of. this song took me places this year. You liking it? You feeling it?
Feeling that bass.
Yep. Hell yep. If we end up,
yeah. Okay.
It's my hope that we're walking through Magfest and we hear this playing somewhere.
Gotcha. Where'd this come from?
I don't know, but it's not Spotify legal, and people are rioting over that.
I see. Okay. Yeah, definitely drop a two. Like, yeah. So, are you the kind of person that like you have like a track for every mood for every time of day? Like,
at the very least, I have a playlist for that.
A playlist. Okay.
But you know, it kind of sucks because last year I got really into listening to albums again. And the problem with playlists is they kind of fuck you on that, you know? Yeah. And so, and I like albums because I like getting into a specific album at a specific time. And then when you hear that album, it reminds you of that time. I don't necessarily get that when I make like playlists and stuff. Okay. If you want my song of the year, it's this fucking thing. It rules. Damn. Yeah.
I haven't had a lot of like music listening recently. Like I've been kind of unfortunately out of that because I've been spending a lot of time listening to like podcasts and things. You know, I feel like I fill my secondary time with that because I like trying to accomplish something visually or playing or writing or whatever while listening to something. But I have been listening to tracks while doing my my boxing because I have like the boxing to the music kind of setup, you know, for exercise and stuff. So like that's been my way of getting in my tunes. But yeah, I'm severely lacking in some playlist action. So
can we tell people, Woolie, about how we came this close to having an actual sparring match?
Oh yeah. Yeah, sure. Right. In in Michigan. we almost fought in Michigan, bro.
Yeah, we did. So the way this was revealed to me, and just so people are aware, I would say, Woolie, that like you're a bigger dude than I am.
Yeah, weight classes exist for a reason.
But the way this was revealed to me was that we were in your room and you like pulled back a layer of your suitcase and there were 4 boxing gloves there. And you were just like, you ready? You ready?
So, you know, yeah.
Now, unfortunately, the way the weekend worked out, we never actually got to make it to a ring.
Did not have time.
But do you remember my stipulation?
What was it?
We can box. You got to grapple.
Oh, I got to roll. Right. Yeah. I have to roll. Yeah,
and I still want to make that happen.
Oh, god damn, dude. Take it to the ground. Pull guard. What the fuck am I gonna do? What am I like land? Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you what you're gonna do, Woolie. You're gonna snap, nap, or tap.
Is that what it's called?
Snap, nap, or tap.
Damn. Is that on the front of a fucking Affliction jersey or whatever? Or
I'm sure. I'm sure it's something. I'm sure it's something.
That sounds like merch. Okay. All right. Number 9 for me. Baby, I want to know your name. The name is Bomb Rush Cyberfunk.
Oh, okay. I know this.
You must be aware.
I am aware.
So, Bomb Rush Cyberfunk is basically, for years, fans of Jet Set Radio and Jet Set Radio Future, like myself, have been basically screaming at the heavens, and Sega looked down and went, no. Except up until this week. But regardless, Team Reptile.
Yeah, what a fucking... Sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Whole other thing.
Wild. But Team Reptile, the folks behind Lethal League and Lethal League Blaze, basically went, fuck it, I'll do it myself. And they then built Jet Set Radio at home. But this time, you can skateboard, you can ride your bike, or you can put on the skates as well. They got Hideki Naganuma, aka DJ Skankfunk, the original himself, to do some tracks on the music. They got the likes of Too Mellow, who was able to put the track I Wanna Know, which has a little cameo by yours truly in it. So I am canonically in the video game.
I think you're canonically in that video game more than once, right?
Well, no. So the thing you see in my playthrough over on Woolieversus is a Quiet Viking, a fan made an awesome model of me and Reggie that we then modded into the game.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is just a modded model of us, and it looks fucking incredible. And so we were able to play as ourselves. But
did we meet Quiet Viking?
We did, and he was quiet.
He was very quiet, very talented.
Right. Very talented, exactly, and so he was able to do this sick ass like version of me and Reggie in Jet Set Radio style, you know. So shout outs to Quiet, and so yeah, like we played through that. It is again, I've wanted Jet Set Radio brought back with like quality of life improvements, and you know, Team Reptile they really did it. But yeah, I was gonna say if you listen to the track I Want to Know. You listen out for the yeah, and that's me.
Hell yeah! Oh,
but it's just a fun character driven story. It's a fun world. You get to see things that are reminding you of Tokyo To, and you're getting to see, you know, like some of the Shibuya Station things and all that. But it has like the best version of the graffiti system, because Jet Set Radio had like a series of like half circles and full 360s that were kind of, you know, a little awkward, and you were getting chased by the cops and stuff, and you're trying to spray, and it was like, okay, but the mini game is there because you need to do your spray paint. And then Jet Set Radio Future got rid of it entirely and just made it like tap the button, spray, move.
So I have a question with Jet Set Radio. One thing I frequently, and like I am a huge fan of the aesthetic and sound of Jet Set Radio. I don't think I've ever actually played the game, but I love a lot of the character designs as well. So sick.
Yeah,
but
classics.
Something I hear from people nowadays, and maybe this is like one of those video essay hot takes that is just popular, but I have heard from multiple people, and people I would like have fairly, this person knows what's up, say like kind of like Jet Set Radio was always an awesome aesthetic and never a super good game. Now, I'm not trying to start nothing. I'm just curious as to your take.
This is not a controversial opinion. Those games are chock rife full with jank.
Okay. That's all I want to know.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always been aesthetic, like through the roof, music through the roof, style, and all of that. And the general flow of gameplay is fun, but controlling it, it's rough in some situations. Jumping has always felt kind of awkward in some cases. Floaty is good, right? Switching from one track to the other is good, but there'd be times where like you wanted control in a way that it couldn't give it to you. Sometimes the snapping from one rail to another wouldn't be perfect. And sometimes it asked things of you that were way too much given how imprecise the controls were. Fighting certain bosses and not falling off death rails in like a very tight circle, you know? It's like a game that's like not super made for a boss fight, but they put you one in anyways, you know?
So I kind of call this the Tenchu 3 problem. Tenchu 3 for the PlayStation 2 is one of the best games of all time hidden in one of the jankiest games of all time. You know, and the shit that's awesome about that game is fucking incredible. It's just buried under so much jank and so much like you hurling a shuriken that comes within 1 meter of a wall and hits into it in nothing. And it's like, if you can put up with the garbage, there's gold under that hill of nothing.
On paper, you know? Yeah. So
but it's awesome that Bomb Rush actually like brings the cool shit forward.
Addresses a lot of that. It like giving you like wall running, and like the boost button in particular, you know, just works really well. And like it's not 100% perfect, but like I do enjoy most of what it's doing. I think like there's like the combat system is not perfect as well, and it could really benefit from like a lock on. It could also benefit from like a map that like pointed out where certain like shortcut places were. But like what's really fun is like the way the whole UI is presented is you pull out your Nokia flip phone, and like while you're skating, you're like scrolling through, you're reading messages, you're checking graffiti tags. You can take a selfie of yourself while upside down posing in the middle of the city.
Sick.
You know?
Okay, yeah.
And yeah, it make the spray painting really, really fun. Like you just get to do a series of lines and create a pattern, and it's fantastic. So yeah, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk is something that Jet Set Radio fans have been waiting for. Also, it features profound body horror, So unexpected.
Okay, I don't know that I needed a rollerblading body horror game, but
Yeah.
sign me up.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun.
Okay, cool. Number 9. I am surprised by this one just because I was not a fan. Well, no, I liked the original Scott Pilgrim. But do you ever consume a piece of media and you're like, this is pretty cool, and everyone around you is losing their mind? That to me was what experiencing Scott Pilgrim in the mid 2000s was going to be like. I was like, yeah, I really like how this guy draws. I don't know about like it's okay other than that. And then I felt like I watched half of Reddit become like Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pills.
yeah. Who they just started acting like that. Like I think that had a profound effect on like men online. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it was fine. I really liked. I liked his follow up comment seconds better, and I kind of loved Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
Yeah,
the Netflix animation. I had such a great time with this. One of my favorite looking shows all year. Like really beautiful, simple drawings drawn so well, and then composited to absolute fucking perfection, with just like really ambitious storyboarding and kind of taking. So like for people who don't know, I can't really convey what's cool about this without giving a episode 1-2 spoiler. This is not an adaptation, it's a rebuild. And I think as a people, as a species, we may perhaps be plummeting towards rebuild fatigue, but this was fucking great. I really appreciate it. It shifts the tone from like Scott Pilgrim defeating Ramona Flowers' 7 evil ex-boyfriends to kind of like Ramona herself acknowledging that she's a bit of a shitty person and like coming to terms and making peace with those same 7 evil ex-boyfriends. And I loved it. I thought it was so good. I thought the like things it had to say about the original were so smart, and like It walked this perfect line between fan service and actually expanding on those original ideas.
Absolutely. Now that the cat's out of the bag, I went in, I've for years wanted a perfect adaptation, and then I started getting it and I was like, oh, finally, that's awesome. And then when they swerved, I was like, but then it won me over because I was just like, oh, it's so nice to spend more time with these characters, to get little, like, again, fan service moments of them interacting with each other.
Lucas Lee, dude. Lucas Lee.
Absolutely. And Matthew Patel getting so much more spotlight as well.
I thought the episode with Ramona and her ex-girlfriend specifically, I thought was really sweet. Really sweet.
And of course, just also the fact that it's a best of, where you get like the voice actors from the live action film, you get the Brian Lee O'Malley art style, you get the music of Anna Managuchi from the game, you get the pixel art of Paul Robertson also from the game, like just an all-star fucking melange, katamari of quality coming together.
It's one of those things where I really think it was the best possible result for a project like this. And like the decision to do the reboot came from Brian Lee, or the rebuild came from Brian Lee O'Malley. And I remember I read an interview with him and he referred to the idea of just doing Scott Pilgrim again as like death. And actually I respect the fuck out of that.
Right.
I really do, because he could have the original comic could have gotten this treatment and everyone would have been fine with it. And I think this did piss some people off, and I understand that too, but to me, I thought it was awesome, and it's been
20 years. You're allowed to move forward with it. And I think I if anything, what would have mitigated it would have been just like perhaps Netflix marketing it in a way that would imply that a little more than not at all, because Brian Lee in interviews did like give that detail openly beforehand. But like, some of that, the main negativity was like people expecting one thing and getting another, and the hoodwink was not what they wanted. But what we got certainly pays off, and the final boss is fantastic.
I wanted to say that without saying it, and I guess that's as close as we're gonna get. But that whole final episode just so raw, perfect.
Yeah, good stuff. I agree. I totally agree. All right, so for me, coming in next would be not much of a surprise for anyone who's, been all the way in, but Baldur's Gate 3 is cleaning up for good reason. Now,
you see that Game Awards? More like Baldur's Sweep.
You did it. You got it in there. No, the only reason why this is not coming in higher is my fault, really. It's because I haven't beaten it yet, right? But it's also massively, massively long, all-encompassing. It's just a humongous game.
You know what, Woolie? What I'm going to say is that Baldur's Gate 3 is actually coming further up my list. Would you like to save a full discussion of it till then? Okay,
all right. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. Okay, coming next on my list is the movie Saltburn. This is number 8 on my list. So there is an Irish actor called Barry Keoghan. I might have that wrong. I'm not exceptional with names, but he was in another film called Killing of a Sacred Deer. And he is an incredibly unsettling little man. And the whole idea behind Killing of a Sacred Deer is, without giving too much away, it's about this little boy, Barry Keoghan, emotionally devouring a family.
Okay.
This movie is about the exact same thing in very different circumstances, and I love the idea that this actor has been typecast for just fucking destroying families. It is a really beautiful and unhinged movie about this young dude, and he gets accepted into this, to call them like a rich family does not, this is a level of wealth that, regular people never come in contact. This is the family with generational wealth. This is the family with the vineyard in, every corner of the globe. And it's him looking into this life and deciding he wants it. And what gradually unfolds is this really incredible mix of a psychological horror, a teenage coming-of-age movie, a comedy, and it all works so well together. This movie was 2.5 hours. It not a single wasted second in the whole thing, and I absolutely loved it. The cast were fucking incredible, and it's one of those movies where I was so glad I saw it in the cinema. And really, such a strong recommendation on Saltburn.
It's comedic, right? Or is this played seriously?
It's laugh out loud hilarious in parts. It is some of the most disturbing shit I have ever seen in other parts.
Cool.
It's excellent. It runs the gambit of emotions. It will make you feel everything, and it does all of them great.
Okay. It comes to my attention that we are probably going to start running into some heavy overlap, probably starting here on out. So I guess we can either, discuss whatever gets dropped first or second, depending on how high up the list it goes. Because I would be surprised if this were not on yours. But for me, coming in at number 7 here is Pluto.
Pluto was actually in my honorable mentions that I cut for the sake of time. But
fair enough.
And also, I haven't finished it, but Pluto, awesome.
Pluto is goddamn excellent. It is on Netflix, the anime by Urasawa, and it is an arc of Astro Boy adapted and Urasawa-fied, I'll say.
Okay.
And it is just, a really, how far did you get?
So I'm on episode 4.
Okay. So
they're those episodes are big boys.
They're very big boys. Each volume of the manga is a full episode. So it's 8 episodes, 8 volumes is how it, and that's why they're so dense, right? We have basically taken the world of Astro Boy and we're moving past the Asimov level discussions of whether robots count as people or anything like that. It forces you to accept that artificial life is precious. It's not even about that debate. Now we're into discussing whether or not negative emotions should be cherished data, just like we cherish positive emotions. And we're discussing the ramifications of the post-Second Gulf War invasion of Iraq and the deposal of Saddam Hussein. We're, you know what I mean? Like, it's fucking just, and we're also like revisiting things where if you are a fan of Monster or of 20th Century Boys, right, you know the classic tired, middle-aged, long-haired Japanese man in a trench coat that Urasawa always goes back to, and that character is absolutely here in this setting as well, or at least that archetype. And it's just an awesome collection of like these characters that are, if you're familiar with Astro Boy, like it's fun to see them in this world, and if you're not familiar, it's still an excellent story. You follow a Blade Runner-esque like a middle-aged detective as he's solving the case. But little things about, the setting that I particularly love in all of Urasawa's work is that characters are not just default gorgeous anime bishonen and biseinen by like automatically.
No, people have gels.
They have faces, they have noses, they have flaws. Some people are ugly, some people are normal. It's a you know what I mean? It's a real like deliberate thing, choice with the art style. And it makes it so much more impactful and important when someone does show up with perfect long hair and a perfect nose and big anime eyes that is like a Bishonen style character. It's like, that's making a statement. Like, this person is gorgeous and everyone's going to treat you that way, you know? I really loved it. It's a grittier look at the world of Astro Boy, but it's not an edgier one, you know?
No, and it's funny, Woolie, as well, because like I am actually someone, and this was we'll say an outrage on my Discord earlier this year. I have a channel on my Discord called The Review Hole where I review different shit, and I reviewed Monster, the anime for Monster, and I gotta say, didn't really like it very much.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I understand. Now, like, I didn't hate it. I thought it was decent. But I understand what an extreme minority I am at that. And I've also given 21st Century Boys a shot, and it didn't really click with me.
Damn. Okay.
This did. This from episode 1, I was like, oh, I love this. This is awesome. I think the detective has a real, like, there's something just likable about him. Like, he kind of has just a kind of charisma. I don't know. Yeah. And then I think there's a scene in episode 2, maybe, where he visits, like, a really fucked up robot in prison. Woolie, you know I do love my villain lead.
Yes.
Oh.
Brow. Yes.
Amazing. So,
I mean, I'll say that I love something whenever I'm watching a show and it, like, cuts away at some moment to another story that has you going like, did I accidentally skip an episode? What's happening? And it's like, no. We're now just spending some time over here, right? Let's take a look at this piano for a minute.
Yeah.
You know?
And like what I love the feeling. This was every season of The Wire for me. It's like, why the fuck are we? Can we not just get back to the? And then by the time you're done, oh
no, I don't want to leave. Exactly. It's exactly that. So, Pluto is just a glowing recommend on that. I fucking loved it. And again, just it's like Astro Boy is where the story is taken from, but it's not necessarily about him. We're gonna pan the camera over here to focus on what the fuck is happening in this bunker where someone just got bombed by the military. Let's tell that story. You know? Yeah.
Okay. Number 7 for the 2023 Best Collection John side is not a thing. It is a person.
Oh.
It's you, Woolie.
Oh.
It's not you, Woolie. Look, all I'm saying, Woolie, is if you get started right now, 2024, baby.
Oh, god damn it. Okay.